All right, in this video, I got a fun one. We're gonna work on the golfer's elbow, or the medial epicondylitis, and it's caused by a few different things. It could be in your golf swing. So number one is you don't have enough external rotation of the shoulder. So you're trying to get the club down here on plane, and you can't get it here because there's tightness in your shoulder, so you put added stress on this area right here. The other reason could be that you come down and you're very right hand dominant and you flip the club at impact, and it puts a lot of stress on here. Let me mention that if you have current pain, these exercises are mainly to prevent it in the future, but I'll show you some stretches that could relieve this. I recommend cold icing it because it's inflammation. And then the other thing I recommend if you do have this pain is seek out a medical professional that can get in there and help you with that. But I'm going to give you some exercises to prevent it so it doesn't ever happen again. Okay, before I show you the prevention exercises, let me show you one stretch that's my favorite that's going to help you. I'll show you two different ways. Number one, you can put your arms straight out and then pull down on your fingers. You're going to get a big stretch right here in the front, and that's going to help with that, stretching that muscle. What's happening is the nerve, the radial nerve is being pinched, and that's where that pain's coming from. If that's pretty good, if you can do that, the other thing I recommend is getting a chair or a counter or something, and you're going to put your palms out like this, and then you're going to put your palms as flat as you can, and then you're just going to lean back, getting a big stretch in that muscle there. So if you're someone that notices, you get down here and you're like, man, I can't even get my hand up this way. There's some people that, you can only get it this way, and it makes it really hard to set the club, and it could be that's what's causing it. So if this is really, really tough for you, if you can't get your hands back here, that's something that you definitely want to work on, because it's probably in that shoulder that's not allowing you to get your arm turned all the way. All right, let's get on with the preventative exercises. So like I said earlier, a lot of elbow pain in golfers is caused by lack of mobility in the shoulder joint. And like any joint mobility issues, we want to look at both stability and then how much mobility you have in different areas. So our favorite test to try this is stand tall, try not to arch your back at all, and you're going to put your arm out at a 90 degree, and you're just going to rotate it back, not arching your back, because I can go a lot farther if I arch my back. But I want to make sure, so this is parallel, or this is even with my spine. I want to see if I can go past that. So I want to see if I can go past it and how far I can go past it, and if I feel any pain in my shoulder. Number two, if you can do that, so that's a mobility test. If you can get into your golf posture with a mid-iron, take your arm up, keep the left hand on grounded, and then you're going to do the exact same test. Here's even with my spine, and I can still go past. If you can't go even or past like you were standing, then you have a stability issue, and we definitely need to work on the back of that shoulder and your upper back as a whole. The first thing we want to address is the stability issue. So we want to make sure that we're stronger. This whole back is your shoulder support system, and if it's not there, your shoulders are going to creep forward, and anytime your joint is not aligned where it should be, it doesn't move as well as if it was aligned where it should be. So all you're going to need is a tube here. But first I want you to try something. You're going to put your arms straight out, and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You should considerably feel like your shoulder blades are squeezing together, and you should not lift your shoulders up. So you don't want your shoulders coming up this way. You want to feel like they're compressing down into your mid-spine. That's going to make sure you're using the right muscles to stabilize that back area, because a lot of us have the control over these traps, and that's where we hold a lot of tension, and the body will automatically go there. But we want to use those lower muscles for this. Okay, now that we've got that, we're going to go take your band. I don't care what kind of tubing it is, some type of tubing. The lighter probably the better to start, and then from here we're going to go a little bit wider than shoulder width, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades back. Remember, not up, but back down. And now I'm going to pull as far out as I can go, having the band against my chest, continuing to squeeze those muscles in the mid back, the lower part of the upper back. So we're going to go here, pull, squeeze, hold 2 seconds, and then release. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades, I'm pulling the band apart, and I'm holding for 2 seconds. If you can get 10 to 15 of these, that's going to really help with that instability in your back muscles that are supposed to be supporting that shoulder that will ultimately help it move better. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our band and we're gonna tie it to something. It doesn't matter what you tie it to. And again, if you have the pain right now in your elbow, this probably isn't gonna feel very good, and I would avoid doing it until it feels better. But what we're gonna do is, and I'm sure anybody that's had any type of shoulder issue has seen this exercise. So we have what's called internal rotation. So I'm pulling towards my body, and I'm probably gonna be 5 to 10 times stronger than on this way. So I got elbow in tight, I'm holding loose grip and pulling all the way in. The more you can keep that elbow in, the tighter you're gonna keep that movement, and it's gonna affect those rotator cuff muscles. And we wanna get them stronger on this side. So if I turn around, I'm using that external rotation. So now, you're definitely not gonna be as strong here because you're using different muscles, but you're gonna keep that same elbow in tight, 90 degrees, and pull out as far as you can go. I recommend keeping this light and keeping the reps high, just because we're working mainly the stability of those little tiny muscles in there, and we don't wanna recruit the big muscles too much. What we're basically doing is just adding more range of motion and more movement there that's gonna get that shoulder moving better and ultimately relieving that elbow pain. Okay, so now let's look at the mobility. Now we got a little stability in the shoulder, let's look at the mobility. And basically what we're trying to do, number one, if you can get that shoulder aligned properly, it's gonna move a lot better. And that's the stability thing. Now, once you get it there, we wanna make sure that you can move it as much as you need to, especially with the weight of that club and trying to drop it in on plane and making good contact. So the first thing we're gonna do is, I like to call this a doorway stretch. I'm gonna use this machine here, but basically you're gonna stand inside a doorway with just your right arm inside the door. You're gonna step forward with your right foot and gently, easily turn your chest away from the doorway. You're getting a big stretch here in the chest muscle. You're contracting the muscle in the back. And this is something that if you're somebody that sits over a computer or you drive a lot, this is something you can do every hour of the day that you're awake, because it's going to help combat this rounded shoulders. And that's a big time in that elbow injury, is people with tight shoulders or rounded forward. So do this on both sides. Hold it for about 15 to 30 seconds and do that a couple times. And that's really going to open up your chest, and you'll feel like you're getting more shoulder mobility already. Last stretch for the shoulders and chest, we're going to need your band again. This is always one of my favorites. Any time of the day you could do this one. So you're gonna go on the end of the band. You're gonna keep your arms straight as you can, and you're just gonna go back over your head as far back as you can go, letting the band pull your hands together, squeezing your shoulder blades, and it's gonna open up this chest. It's gonna bring your shoulders back, and it's gonna get them aligned so they're feeling better. The more, if you even put your hand out, if you look at this motion, if my hand goes back this way, if you have that elbow pain now, you're really going to feel it, because it's extending that muscle in the forearm, and you're even getting a double whammy, so you're stretching that elbow and the shoulder blades. So open band chest stretch is a great one that's going to help you with that. So like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're somebody that has severe pain in your elbow, seek out a medical professional that could help you. But if you're somebody that's had it before and you don't want it to come back, and trust me, you don't, those are great exercises and great ways that are going to help you to improve your posture, improve your swing plane, and get rid of or prevent that elbow pain. So I've always said this, that stable joints like the elbow and the knee and the lumbar spine, when it comes to golf and rotary, usually the problem is not in the joint or the muscles surrounding, it's in the joint above or below it. So a lot of people with lower back pain come in with back pain, and it's because their hips are tight. People with elbow pain, it's because their shoulders are tight. So if you're looking for exercises around your elbow, you shouldn't be doing those. You should be doing shoulder stretches if you're a golfer. So there you go. We'll see you in the next video, and I hope that one helped. Hey, thanks for watching this video. You might like the ones over here if you like this one. And don't forget to subscribe below and comment down below, and let me know if there's anything golf specific that you're working on that you'd like to see a video for. And hey, share this with your friends because I know they could use it too. We'll see you on the next video.